What up, what up, what up? It's your boy LQ, Mr. Real Deal Fantasy HQ. It's the Fantasy Heat Check with my boy Cody. What's good, bro?
Ooh, it is a good day for some football. It is rainy as shit here in Indiana, but we got football back. It's week 6, and my entire roster is screwed, dude. Oh my god, it's
First
terrible.
bye week. That's the crazy thing about it. We start seeing teams get exposed because it's the first bye week. I mean, look, it's happening in my home league. I love people squirming to hit that wire, which is crazy. This is like crazy for my home league because there's a waiver wire cap in our league. Like, it's the most stupidest rule ever, but everybody likes it. You only get 30 a year. Wild, right?
That's insane.
I love
That
it
is
though.
insanity.
So entertaining though, because you start seeing people in December squirming because they only have 3 waivers left. So when they get screwed to injuries, they're making the most outlandish trades, straight up just doing whatever they can to get that replacement. So it's like the funniest thing that
wild.
happened before playoffs. Great content, by the way. Some stuff I cannot share because my league mates are a little out there. But anyway, I think now that teams are starting to like realize, like, holy shit, I drafted 5 players with the same bye week. Didn't know that. So yeah, it's very entertaining to see people squirm now.
Look, bye weeks are my least favorite part of fantasy football, aside from injuries. And dude, this week or last weekend going into this week has been awful for injuries. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Disgusting, absolutely disgusting. And it doesn't make sense for the simple fact that so many people drafted players that were like so far away from injuries, so far away from, people that, we thought would be good and tough for the rest of the season. But no, of course not. That's usually what happens.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So first things first, kind of breaking news today, I guess. Damian Williams was put on the COVID-19 list. So the backup there in Chicago who's taken over now that David Montgomery's on IR. Well, now he's on the COVID list. So Khalil Herbert is an absolute grab if he's still on your waiver wire. Are you willing to start him this week?
Absolutely. Absolutely, being that we saw a lot of bursts, we saw a lot of, playing usage between them both. I mean, Williams gave you the PPR upside out of that too, but if Williams ain't playing, man, it looks like, Herbert is full send.
Yeah, and that Packers run defense isn't insane by any means. So it doesn't really, I'm not really worried there. And Herbert had 18 touches last week. So
Yes, he did.
he is no slouch. And you've heard it once, you've heard it 1,000 times, follow the volume. I absolutely would be willing to start him this week.
This is the follow the volume, like motion. Like
that's what we
follow the volume.
Good Lord. So in other injury news, it looks like CMC is probably going to be out this week.
Yes, as he should. And as a CMC guy who has shares in multiple leagues, I think it's the best bet. I'd rather have him full send healthy later in the season than right now. These matchups, they do matter. Every matchup matters, but I'd rather, basically take the L's now and then turn up when it's like when it really, really matters, when playoffs are starting to kick up. But if you're like 0-5 right now with a CMC, then I understand you're worried. But right now, most of my teams, I'm like 3-2, like I'm ballpark around there. I'm not really sitting at, the 0-5 situation. So a lot of people who drafted CMC actually knew to get like the backup insurance on running backs. And that's honestly what you should have did. Same thing with Saquon Barkley. So I feel as though if people drafted correctly and properly, they will have that backup, running back insurance. I really feel as though, Chuba Herbert was drafted in a lot of leagues that I drafted. That's a great insurance policy. Excuse me. So I definitely feel as though it's the best bet. You like how I transitioned that, right? That was a stinky one.
Incredible. Oh, goodness. Yeah, if you got Hubbard and CMC's not playing, you're absolutely starting him this week. So 2 running back injuries, and there's a poor dude in my home league who has both of these guys on his roster. Saquon and CEH are both out. Okay. Devontae Booker comes in place of Saquon. Darrell Williams comes in place of CEH. Yeah. Right. Who do you value more going forward, Booker or Williams?
Booker, absolutely Booker, being that we see that they used him as a Saquon Barkley workload. I feel as though the upside is definitely there for this week and moving forward. If we can't see CEH put up RB1 numbers consistently week to week, what makes us think a Darrell Williams will be. It's not that Darrell Williams is better than CEH. It's just how they use the running backs in that system. So I'm not expecting RB1 numbers from the jump. You know what I mean? So I'm going with Booker, who are they going to lean on in the goal line, who are they going to lean on in, catching the ball out of the backfield. I think it kind of just you go with the guy that has more of the opportunities. I mean, he's not in a heavy pass, on the in the red zone, the goal line, throwing the ball like how Williams is. So Booker is definitely the best play moving forward. I feel as though, I wouldn't go crazy spending all that fab. You probably already did, to be honest, but I feel as though Saquon won't be back next week. That's the problem. The ankle injury isn't as serious as everybody thought, or as it looked in that picture. So I feel like you're going to spend crazy on your fab for 1 week and then Saquon's back. You know what I mean? It kind of sucks.
Yeah, and he has a pretty tough matchup this week against the Rams in a game where the Giants, without Daniel Jones, who is another injury thing, right? Or Kenny G, they could be running the ball, but man, if the Rams are dialed in to stop the run for the Giants, I don't know how the Giants are going to put up points this week. I'm going to be very honest.
I feel as though it's going to have to come on like garbage time of when we take the starters out. I mean, I don't want to talk shit early, but I feel as though they're dealing with a lot of injuries. Saquon's not playing. Daniel Jones should absolutely not play. Kenny G's out. And then you got Shepard and Slayton who are dealing with injuries. So it's questionable for them to even play because they both were limited in Wednesday's practice. So you got to put all that into consideration.
So one of my favorite waiver targets this week, I have him in quite a few rosters, and he had an incredible game last week outside of the thrown punch. Kadarius Toney of the Giants balled out. I mean, the guy was a stud. Now, granted, it was against the Cowboys defense, while better than what it was has been in years past.
Yeah,
it's still not incredible, right? Are we a believer in Kadarius Toney going forward? I mean, he had 10 for 189. That's a hell of a stat line.
I feel as though, honestly, it's a great game. Like you said, Dallas Cowboys aren't as trash as they were last year, but I feel as though this week I'm pumping the brakes. I'm pumping the brakes for the simple fact that he's been on my bench for X amount of weeks now. I'm pretty sure most of the people that put him in or didn't put him in are a little upset, or they're very happy that he put up those numbers. But this week, he has Jalen Ramsey. He has Aaron Donald going against, nobody quarterback, Glennon, I think his name is. I don't even know. Yeah. Mike Glennon, whatever the case may be.
Mike Glennon, bro. That dude's
guy on the Bucs. Is it this is the thing, who is this guy? But anyway, he has Aaron Donald coming at him full speed. So I do not know if he'll have time to be able to even target Kadarius Toney. That's the thing. What's great about recency bias about last week is being that fantasy football is dumb. We know fantasy football is the devil. It's the worst case scenario. He has this big game, goes into this matchup and completely shits the bed. That's a possibility that can happen. You're probably looking damn, why did I sit, XYZ for Kadarius Toney? So this week I'm being very subtle. I'm telling everybody to be cautious for the simple fact is all right, just look at the matchup. Look at the situation they're in now. Everybody's hurt. It doesn't seem like the great matchup to go against a Rams defense, a Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey only needs to shadow him about 3-4 times of the game. The game's already going to be out of control. It's going to be over. There's going to be no reason to try to think that Kadarius Toney is going to produce in the fourth quarter with garbage time. Okay, he scores a touchdown. He's not putting up what he did last week on the Rams. I'll tell you that. So yeah, I don't understand.
I feel good about Kadarius Toney season long. Right. Tough matchup this week. It's unfortunate. You're starting quarterbacks down. That's not good news for any fantasy wide receiver.
No, it's not.
But season long, I think that Kadarius Toney, shout out the Take It to the Hizzy crew. I think Kadarius Toney could be the number one fantasy receiver on that team. Sterling Shepard, has been pretty solid for him, but I'm out on Galladay. Galladay could not play snap the rest of the year. That wouldn't do me any difference.
This is what's crazy. Galladay leads the team in targets. If everybody doesn't know that, it's disgusting. Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. But he does not lead in catches. That's Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney only played 2 games that are relevant. Let that sink in. So absolutely, Kadarius Toney could be the wide receiver 1 for the Giants. But what we're talking about right now is this week against my Rams. I'm not full sending it. I'm being very cautious. I'm weighing out all my options before I say, okay, yeah, let's throw in Kadarius Toney. I need to see who I have on my roster. Everybody knows their rosters. I don't know what your roster is, but I know what my roster is. There's no way I'm sitting Keenan Allen or D-Hop. That's my combination at wide receiver. And then in my flex, I can play around with, maybe I'll sit like a Marvin Jones, a Shenault, like guys in that realm. Okay, yeah, you can sit those and put a Tony in just to see what happens, because we've seen what happened last week with Shenault. One catch for 58 yards. Like, what the fuck? Why, Urban? Why? You had Tavon? Listen, I'm going to go on a rant real quick.
Look, if you're going to rely on Urban Meyer's good decision-making here, I mean,
Tavon
might
also
not be the best
had 5 targets and 5 catches. Marvin Jones had one catch. Shenault, what the, you know what? Throw away the entire season. Just throw it away.
Throw it away. Get it out of here.
Throw away the team. They're the Bobcats now. Bobcats.
The Bobcats.
Get them out of here.
Sheesh. Oh, man. All right, so we got to talk about week 6, right? LQ, best bets, bold predictions. I got to start with my Bengals, and it's actually not a Bengals player. It's who's going against the Bengals. The Bengals have allowed a ton of catches to the running backs. That's been kind of they've been content with letting running backs catch the ball on defense. And DeAndre Swift, the Lions are top 2 in targets to their running backs. DeAndre Swift is top 2 in targets at the running back position. He's second only to Najee Harris. I think DeAndre Swift has a great week against the Bengals. And quite frankly, I think he'll be used in the passing game even more than he already has been with Quintez Cephas being out. I think it's a broken hand. I think DeAndre Swift has a monster week. I'm predicting a top 5 finish for him this week.
I hear it. I'm with you. I mean, it's not even that bold, honestly. Like, full send it. So you got some fans. Damn, I'm really gassy today, bro. It stinks too, bro.
What kind of show is this?
And it stinks, bro. I had like Pizza Hut earlier, and it's like cardboard eggs and like onions, and that's not what I had on the pizza. It's just what it tastes like and smell like, which is crazy.
Bro, you're absurd. It's that Jersey pizza. It's not high quality out here like the Chicago deep dish. I'm telling you.
I said it was pizza. I was desperate today.
Pizza.
Bro, I had $7 in my pocket. That's all. So
you can't out Pizza the Hut, man.
Yeah, you gotta go to Pizza Hut, man. You can't get the real traditional Jersey pizza because you gotta pay top dollar for that. And I want 2 slices, so I'm gonna pay $7 for a little personal pan, and I got 5. So, hey, whatever.
You are out of control. Out of control. Need more Liquid Death. I will drink all of the Liquid Death if they sponsor the show. Sponsor the show. I'm going to will it into existence. LQ, what do you got for this week? What's your bold predictions and best bets?
It's for tonight's game. Gainwell is going to put up RB1 numbers. I mean, we saw Myles Gaskins put up, 10 catches, 10 targets, which is great. Myles Gaskins had to do that with Devontae Parker out. Preston Williams not really stepping up to the plate, being the guy that we thought he was, a couple of years ago when Devontae Parker was looking like the wide receiver too. So I feel as though if the Eagles are smart enough, you cannot run the ball on the Bucs. This is public information. You cannot run the ball.
We know this.
It doesn't happen. So I feel as though with that being public information, you do exactly what Miami did. Beat them through the air, because honestly, the Bucs are number 1 right now when it comes to yards for running backs, just simply for catching. So therefore, they're giving up a ton. And let's not even mention their corners. They're not that great. They're beat up, and Richard Sherman is not polished. He's not polished yet. He looked at okay. That's the thing. Like, polished and okay, like, it's the same realm for me, because at the end of the day, it's Richard Sherman. Like, he should be top elite, but he's not. So therefore, I think the game plan tonight, Gainwell is targeted 10 times. He has 10 catches. Like, I'm not going to say that's the stat line. I'm just saying that's what they should do. That's what they should do. I feel as though Devontae Smith and Gainwell should have really big games tonight. I feel as though this week is their week, and I'm going to full send it.
Yeah, I mean, we are 5 weeks through the season, and I think the Eagles have almost already given up on the rush this year. I mean, they don't run the football. I've never seen a team just give up on the run like the Eagles have this year, and it's honestly
like that game where they had Hurts. The Eagles ran the ball a total of 12 times. I forget what game it was. It might have been Cowboys. They ran the ball 12 times. Hurts ran it 7 times, and Miles Sanders had 2 attempts for like 27 yards. Gainwell had 1. So it's like, why did you guys go away from the run when the run was working for every time they were running the ball. Like, it was kind of weird. Like, stick to the game plan. It felt as though they had a game plan. They got knocked off their course. They went into half, down or whatever, and then boom, we don't know what we're doing anymore. We're a high school team right now. I have a Pop Warner coach right now making the calls, and it's like, you guys could have won that game if you were able to adjust and adapt to what the Cowboys were giving to you. So it was like weird. It was disgusting. So they need to do something.
Yeah, shockingly, the Eagles are not – this might be one of the weirdest Thursday night football games. The Eagles are – let me see, 32, 31, 30, 29. They are 27th in rushing attempts. The Buccaneers are 30th in rushing attempts. We might see like 10 total run plays this whole game tonight. Insanity.
I'm here for it. Tonight is not the night you start Fournette. I'll say that. But he does have a little tasty matchup if they do give him 20 carries again. I'm not going to say that the Eagles are good against the run where, they can't be ran on. But I feel as though, Fournette might not have the big game that we expect, for him having 20 touches again. So, obviously, this is a Gainwell week. Welcome to the Gainwell week. Welcome to the Devontae Smith week. This is going to be glorious to have them in your starting lineups. Do it. Just full send it.
Okay, I got to ask. I know it's not on the sheet, but I got to ask. Are you, with Dallas Goedert out, are you willing to start Zach Ertz in any leagues?
Yes. I'm only saying that because Zach Ertz still leads Goddard in targets, in usage, snap share, target share, et cetera, et cetera. So Ertz is still technically by the numbers tight end 1. So with Goddard out, we're only led to believe that he absorbs the back end of that from Goddard, which I don't think is 100% true because I'm a guy that believes in targets are earned. But Zach Ertz does have an attractive matchup with the Bucs as well. So, yeah, we could full send him.
I think he is this week's, like, if you're going to stream a tight end because I know a lot of people have Kyle Pitts. He's on a bye. A lot of people have George Kittle. He is now on IR, and also the 49ers are on a bye this week.
Logan Thomas too. Yeah.
Yep, Logan Thomas out. So I think two of the better streaming options this week are Zach Ertz and then Ricky Seals-Jones.
Absolutely.
Just a better matchup against Chiefs. Should be a lot of points scored. Not a lot of defense played in that game. I have a couple of my best bets. I love the Rams this week, dude. For all the reasons that you said that you were down on that Giants offense, the Rams are good. The Rams are polished. They are going to go into Meadowlands and rock the New York Giants -10. I love that. And then Chargers +3 against the Ravens in Baltimore. We watched Carson Wentz and that depleted Colts offense put up 500 yards on Baltimore's defense. If you think Carson Wentz is better than Justin Herbert, you're out of here, Justin Hurts. Well, that'd be a fantasy player. Wow. But Justin Herbert should put up dummy numbers on that Baltimore team. I think it'll be a great game, all the points. The Chargers can't stop the run. The Ravens are pretty good at running the football. Should be a fun game, but I'm going to take the Chargers +3, and I'm starting every Charger I have. Every Charger I have.
Derek Cook is going to have a good game. I feel as though Herbert's going to explode again after coming off a 394, I believe it was, 5 touchdowns. Like, one of them were rushing. He's going to have one of those games again. It might not be 5, but he might have 4. Let's put it like that.
Yes, sir. I'm telling you, dude, Justin Herbert, what a guy. He has been great.
And Josh Allen are literally like this for me. Like, I might buy both of their jerseys. Like, that's how good I'm watching them play. For real.
You're going to buy the other LA team's jersey?
Yes, I might. And that's sickening to say out loud publicly.
They're in another conference. It's fine. It'd be different. Also, it would be different if you lived in LA, but you live in Jersey. I mean, it's not like, what are you going to do? Piss off some Chargers fans? They don't even exist. True. Hey, you could be Chargers fan number 2.
The Raiders had a home game. That is sickening. That is disgusting.
That's wild. It's so wild. All right, LQ. I think it's about that time. Let's get to the mailbag and see what we got for the people.
Mailbag. So we got some great questions today. I definitely appreciate you guys again coming through, watching, sending in your questions. Make sure you guys like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys are having notifications on when we go live, because we are bringing the heat absolutely every single week. So let's jump into this mailbag for the first one. So who do you like more if Damien Harris doesn't play? Bolden or Stevenson?
Dude, this one's tough. This one's tough, man. And while I do think it's a little bit of a backfield by committee, I think Belichick's going to go with the guy who has been there for a while, knows the system. I think he's going to go Brandon Bolden, but Ramondre Stevenson's going to get some run. He's going to get some touches if Damien Harris doesn't play. That being said, we'll see how this Texans team looks against the Cowboys. Teams have been able to run on the Cowboys in the past, so I'm not shying away completely, but I think it's a lot of more of a split. But I'm going to take Brandon Bolden in this one.
I'm right with you with this one with Bolden. I honestly, at first, I thought it was a toss-up, but I'm leaning more towards Bolden. I think Stevenson gets his touches, but I don't think it'll be enough to be fantasy relevant. So I'm going to definitely lean towards Brandon. So that was a good question. I think Harris, I don't think he plays, though, to nib that in the butt. I don't think he's playing this week. And plus, he got put in the doghouse, so not a good look.
True. Shout out our man Z2 Fantasy for asking that question. Dude puts out incredible graphics on Twitter if you want to go follow him.
Z2.
All right.
Next one, man. Would you drop Zach Moss for Geno Smith in a 2 QB league? Don't need him, but guy who has Wilson is his only QB. So Wilson, Brady, Danny Dimes. Hey, I love the energy. I love being that guy in the league.
Diabolical
bag. Yes, absolutely. Do it. Do it.
I don't know if I'm willing to drop Zach Moss, though. Like, Zach Moss is going to have a great season.
You don't need him. If you don't need him, you're stacked at running back. Full send the toxic behavior. You have to. You have to.
Bro, I'm going to be on the opposite side. I love the toxic behavior. If you want to drop a wide receiver for him, go ahead. I ain't dropping Zach Moss, bro. Like, you know how many running backs are like hurt this week, and you're lucky you got a healthy one? I ain't going to drop.
Right. You're right.
I ain't dropping Moss, but I'll drop a receiver. I drop Brandon Ayuk. And do that.
First of all, you shouldn't have drafted him at all. I'm going to victory lap that every single Sunday. I love the energy that I'm seeing.
I don't like that you're bullying me, honestly. You're targeted, and it's kind of bullshit. And I'm going to go tell my wife, and she's going to be mad at you. Bullshit.
Listen, every single week I'm victory lapping that because it's disgusting the amount of draft stock people were paying. But this isn't a Brandon Ayuk hate train right now. We're going to move on to the next question. So, what would you think about this trade? Receiving Carson and Schultz, giving up Jacobs and Gronk.
I'm all in on this. All in. I think, first off, I am not a believer in Josh Jacobs, primarily because I'm not a believer in that Raiders offense. They can't run the football well. I don't think Josh Jacobs is phenomenal. Carson, while I understand he was hurt last week, should be back this week. They're going to run the ball a ton while Russell Wilson is out. Quite frankly, they're going to run the ball a ton. I think he has a ton of value. And quite frankly, Carson's an RB2, and I don't think Jacobs is. I think he's border like an RB3 flex kind of area. And how are we split? Where do you feel about Schultz and Gronk?
So
I think Schultz.
I absolutely love Gronk and Schultz straight up. Honestly, I love it. But you hit the nail on the head about the Raiders running the ball with Jacobs. But there's Carson's neck injury. That's going to linger. That's something that I'm not willing to give up, a Gronk, a red zone junkie, when he comes back with the touchdown upside. We know Brady loves Gronk. That's where I'm at with it. That's why I'm a little hesitant on it, being that Carson has a neck injury. This isn't a turf toe or a sprained
hamstring man.
It's disgusting because I don't think this is going to go away. Obviously, this is going to linger. And I feel as though you're taking a risk here. You're losing the touchdown upside here. You're really losing a top 5 tight end right now. Schultz is doing great at his position and what he's doing. It's lovely we're able to pick him up off of waivers. We're able to get him for the cheap in drafts. But Gronk, when he comes back healthy, that touchdown upside is definitely there for him to be a top 5 tight end this year.
Man, I don't think, but I think Schultz could be a top 5 tight end too, though.
He could, but I feel as though there's a lot of football left to where there's going to be weeks where Gronk has like 2 touchdowns and like 7 targets, 5 catches. Schultz is going to have those games where he has 5 targets because he's still splitting with Blake Jarwin. There's not going to be a time where Schultz becomes the number 1 red zone target when we already know Gronk is already competing with Mike Evans, arguably, debatably, as the number 1 target in the red zone. That's where I'm at mentally with it.
See, the thing that worries me is Josh, like even healthy, right? Like I know he missed 2 weeks, right? He missed Pittsburgh and Miami. He has yet to have 50 yards rushing. Yet to have 50 yards rushing. I don't know. I'm a little skeptical.
That's why I said if you make this trade, take the running backs out of it. You could do Schultz for Gronk straight up. Straight up, I'm taking that. Just straight up, just Schultz for Gronk. When you add the running backs, it's like the Raiders aren't running the ball that good. Jacobs isn't that great. Carson has a neck injury. It's all risk because you got to think when Carson comes back from this neck injury, which is possibly this week, they're not going to full send him. There's no way he sees the workload.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
And so, Alex Collins is fully capable too. It's not like they have some scrub back there.
It's a disgusting trade. That's just end it right there. It's a disgusting trade.
Yep.
My man Blake from Twitter. Wide receivers rest of the season standard league. Disgusting. Absolutely horrible for that league. Just playing. No, I'm not. But Marvin Jones, Landry, and Shepard for the rest of the season. Where are you going, Cody?
Yeah, I'm still going Shepard rest of the season, especially if Galladay is going to miss time. I don't know how much time he's going to miss. I'm still going Shepard rest of the season. Jaguars offense stinks. Browns offense, they don't throw the ball anyway. And when they do,
it's not to OBJ. Sorry, I had to throw that in.
It ain't to OBJ. I don't like Landry's okay, but like the upside just isn't there. So give me Shepard.
He giving us Bobby Trees vibes with that new number, to be honest, of Bobby Trees of last year, I should say, to clarify that. But yeah, moving on. In a super flex league, just got offered Michael Carter and a third for Taylor Heineke below his roster. So let me jump to my DMs real quick and just peek at his roster real quick. Honestly, I think I answered this in the DMs. I might have. I'm not too sure. Okay, I'm looking for it, and I cannot find it. But let's just answer it for what it is right now. So the thing about Taylor Heineke, he's shown us that he's a capable above average quarterback. He brings the rushing upside as well. But he just got offered Michael Carter. I don't know if I like Michael Carter long term. I really don't.
Yep. I'm not a believer in Michael Carter. I think the Jets will absolutely be in the market for a running back next offseason. I like Taylor Heineke. I think that.
Oh, I got it. Hold on. He mentioned me. It wasn't in my DM. He mentioned me.
Okay. Do you think Heineke starts after anywhere after this year? I think he'll finish the year out. But
let me keep it 1,000 with you. I've been really, really, really thinking about, if Ron Rivera fully believes in him, which I think he does, honestly. I feel as though, he can be the future for Washington as a placement until they can find a QB in the draft to compete with him. Because the rushing upside there is attractive. Like the way he plays, he has heart. He's hungry, and that's what you want in a young QB. So in a super flex league, I'm holding on to him for the simple fact Michael Carter is on the Jets. The Jets are going to jet. I mean, Michael Carter is getting some type of fantasy relevant because he's finding the end zone, but let's really look at his numbers productive-wise week to week. It's disgusting because he's still getting carries taken away from him from Tevin Coleman and Ty Johnson.
Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting. So no, I would not take this offer. I'm holding on to Taylor Heineke. I'm looking at his roster right now. Actually, you're absolutely stacked, by the way, bro. If you're still watching, I mean, this is amazing. The way he has Dak Prescott and Matthew Stafford as his flex QB.
Bro. If you're competing, if you are competing, keep Heineke. That is
once one of these guys have a bye week, Taylor Heineke's filling in and putting up the same amount of points. No,
bro, injuries happen too, man. And that I had Taylor Heineke as my third quarterback in a super flex, and I was just like, I'm okay with that. It's great.
Absolutely. So do not take this offer. Do not touch it. It's disgusting. But yeah, that's all of the mailbag, and we had a great show today, Cody. My man came through. You were healthy this week. Thank you, God.
We're back.
You're back. We're back, bitch. I don't think I can curse from here. That's probably why I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet.
Bro, all right. People out there, if you enjoy our content, like, please subscribe. We are so close to hitting 1,000, so close to getting monetized. Maybe we can get that Justin Herbert jersey for ULQ if you get that 1,000 subs.
Please, I need a Herbert jersey. Herbert or Josh Allen. Those are my two favorite quarterbacks right now. I'm a diehard Rams fan, but I gotta buy their jerseys, man. I just love watching them play.
Oh man, dude, great slate of football this week. I'm super excited. With that being said, man, send us home.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for coming through. Please make sure you like and subscribe, share the video, leave a comment below on what you guys think, and please show up next week when we drop the heat. Once again, we might have a new intro. We might have some fire going from here, there, everywhere, because I'm working on some good shit. So please see us next week. Peace.